Carlos Alcaraz's words in his Netflix documentary My Way sparked an emotional wave across the tennis world. In it, the young Spaniard opened up about the emotional weight of his career, admitting that at times, tennis feels more like an obligation than a passion. For many fans, it was a raw, human moment, a glimpse into the psychological toll even success can bring. But not everyone has taken the confession gently. Toni Nadal, the influential uncle and former coach of Rafael Nadal, didn't hesitate to voice his opinion on the matter. Speaking on the Nude Project podcast, Toni delivered a blunt and unfiltered message to Alcaraz: if the sport overwhelms you, then walk away. Quit. Toni didn't even watch the documentary. He admitted that outright. But that didn't stop him from forming a firm judgment. To him, the very idea of feeling enslaved by tennis sounds alien, almost indulgent. Toni has long believed in the old-school values of grit, sacrifice, and responsibility. It's a mindset he instilled into Rafael Nadal, who became one of the toughest and most mentally resilient athletes the sport has ever seen. So, when Alcaraz talks about anxiety and obligation, Toni interprets it as a mindset issue rather than a crisis. He doesn't sympathize with the framing of sport as sacrifice, especially when it brings with it fame, money, and global respect. To him, calling that a sacrifice distorts the reality of life for millions who work hard every day without a fraction of those rewards. His message was sharp and, to many, harsh. But it came with a certain consistency. Life, Toni argued, is full of sacrifice. It's not unique to athletes. It's not unique to Alcaraz. Everyone must face struggles and compromises, whether they're sweeping courts or playing on them. For him, it's not about feeling overwhelmed, but about choosing whether the path is worth the effort it demands. Alcaraz is not alone in these feelings. Many top-level athletes have shared similar sentiments in recent years. Naomi Osaka, Simone Biles, and others have all opened up about mental health, pressure, and burnout. In a world that's beginning to prioritize emotional well-being, Alcaraz's honesty might be seen as a sign of strength rather than weakness. Yet, Toni Nadal's perspective represents a contrasting school of thought. One rooted in traditional values of perseverance at any cost. He doesn't dismiss mental health but reframes it. He calls for owning the choice. If playing tennis is too much, he says, no one is forcing you to stay. But if you do stay, you must fully accept the responsibility, the expectations, and yes, the price. It's not that Toni lacks empathy, but rather that his definition of sacrifice diverges from the modern narrative. I'm not talking about sacrifice, he said. Sacrifice is what you do for others. When you do something for yourself, it's just the price of your decision. In other words, playing tennis at the highest level isn't a burden, it's a conscious trade-off. You give up some comforts to gain extraordinary rewards. In Alcaraz, Toni sees not just a great talent, but a player with the potential to dominate for years. But with that greatness comes pressure. And in Toni's eyes, that pressure should not be viewed as a burden but as a challenge worthy of embracing. The real question becomes, can both mindsets coexist in modern sport? Can athletes be vulnerable and open about their struggles while still being expected to carry the weight of their status without hesitation? Or must one approach win out? Alcaraz's own journey will reveal how he handles this fork in the road. His confession wasn't one of defeat, it was an honest reflection. He still trains, still competes, still wins. But he's asking the important questions early in his career, perhaps to protect himself from future burnout. Toni's comments, sharp as they may be, offer a kind of tough love reflection of the older generation's expectations. He praises Alcaraz's talent but adds a reminder, no one forces greatness upon you. It's a choice, a gift, but also a cost. There's no denying that Alcaraz has already accomplished more than most players do in their entire careers. A four-time Grand Slam champion, a world number one, and one of the brightest stars of the post-Big Three era. Yet with all that success comes pressure, and in today's world, pressure is no longer just about performance, it's about how you feel inside when you wake up to live the same routine every day. Tennis, for Alcaraz, may be more than a game. It may be his identity, his battleground, and sometimes, his cage. That's what makes his honesty resonate. But it's also what makes Toni Nadal's reaction so striking. For one man, success comes with internal struggle. For the other, struggle is just the cost of success. This isn't the first time Toni Nadal has sparked debate with his firm views. He comes from a generation that believed the best way to care for athletes was to make them tougher. Today, we live in a world that increasingly believes the best way to protect athletes is to help them open up and share. These worlds are clashing in real time. Whether or not one agrees with Toni, his message to Alcaraz is clear: this life isn't for everyone, and if it's too much, that's okay. But staying in it means embracing every part of it: the wins, the losses, the doubt, the expectations, and the solitude that comes with greatness. Alcaraz now stands at an intersection of generational philosophies. On one side, the emotional openness of today's athletes. On the other, the iron discipline of those who paved the way. It's a powerful moment in time for tennis, and for sport as a whole. One voice whispers, "Protect your peace," while another says, "Endure your purpose." In the end, the decision rests with Carlos. His journey will continue, and so will the conversation about what it means to be young, talented, and human in the global spotlight.